everyone. Welcome to another Chosen Lifeline for Relationship. My name is Walter Jennings.
My name is Charmaine Jennings.
And we are your Chosen Life practitioners, where we have been called to challenge and change
relationship culture.
So today we have a very interesting topic, and Lifeline for you all is petty or ready to date. So we hear the word petty a lot in modern day vernacular, this whole term of being petty. And so I love the Collins definition of petty. It defines it as when a person cares too much about small or unimportant things, or when they are unnecessarily unkind. That is what a lot of people will say. You are doing the most for no good reason at all. But all jokes aside, being petty can actually lead to very destructive results in your relationships with other people.
Absolutely. Whether it's a romantic relationship, relationships with coworkers, colleagues, family members, even, or your spouse or your partner that you're dating. If you want to be ready to date, ready to give your heart, ready to truly have relationships that are powerful, impactful, and sustainable, you got to free yourself from being a patron of petty. Okay. You have to free yourself from that, because the first thing is if you constantly find yourself functioning in that saying things or thinking intrusive thoughts like, well, they did this to me, and so that's why I did that to them. Right. And so, we have this thing called the golden rule, right? You do unto others as you would have them, as you would have them do unto you. Well, for somebody who really wants to justify, well, you know what? They treated me this way, and this is my philosophy. I'm going to treat them the same way that they treated me. No, the bottom line is, did you enjoy, how they treated you? Is that something that, was really added value to you? No, clearly it bothered you. Clearly it frustrated you. So if something bothers you or frustrates you, you were offended by it, it harmed you, and now you want to harm someone else just because that's how they behave, you're operating in pettiness.
Yeah, Charmaine, the whole notion, there's a great quote that says, an eye for an eye leaves everyone blind. And so the idea of being petty and adopting that mentality is really lowering yourself potentially in your standard to behaving in the way of the treatment that you are receiving. Now, there are a lot of people that will push back against this notion by saying that, well, I have to learn people how to treat me. I have to teach people how to treat me by giving them what they are giving to me. And unfortunately, most people will not be able to see the lesson and to receive that they need to change by you treating them the way that they treat you.
And research doesn't even support that by really harming, they harmed me, so I'm going to harm them, and they're going to somehow learn how to heal instead of harm. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it only leads to accelerated levels of vindictiveness, and it just becomes
revenge,
destructive and combative. And it just ultimately what happens is those two individuals are not the only ones that are impacted by that. That's part of the challenge with the whole idea of being petty, is that ultimately it's like a virus and an infection, and ultimately other people are going to be impacted by the actions that take place within that dynamic.
Absolutely. The stakes are too high, and the stakes are too high for you as well. Again, most people don't enjoy frustration. Most people don't enjoy anger, aggravation, things like that. And if they enjoy those things, then they're not healthy. They're not healthy. And so again, operate in the platinum rule, do unto others, not as they would have you do unto them, but as, you want to treat them, and that is a platinum rule, do unto others as you would have, as they would have you do unto them. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have people do unto you. But we want to focus on really operating in the very thing that you say you want. That can be contagious. Operate in joy, operate in peace. And you know what? If someone has mistreated you, harmed you, offended you, then at some point we make it known. We let them know that an offense has occurred. We set up a boundary, and we require them to rebuild trust and or to reconcile or have a level of restitution. But we don't want to operate in being petty, which leads to revenge and a whole host of negative behavior.
Yeah, one of the things that we can do to help combat those scenarios is by understanding our principles and our values from the very beginning and remaining committed to those things regardless of how we may experience other people, and not allowing the way that we may interact or the results or reactions that we may get from other people to discourage us in remaining committed to our beliefs and our values and our principles and the way that we conduct ourselves. So it's very important that as we go and navigate the world, as we go into certain situations, that we commit ourselves to behaving in a way that's going to honor who we truly are.
Absolutely. And so this is our lifeline for relationships. Are you petty or are you ready? Are you ready to be your best self?
Yeah, and if you are ready, reach out to us for a session. We would love to partner with you in your individual journey, again, to help you identify your beliefs, your values, and your principles so that you can walk in them and show up as your best self in all of your relationships.
This is your Chosen Lifeline. My name is Charmaine Jennings.
My name is Walter Jennings, and we are your Chosen Life Specialists, where we have been called to challenge and change
relationship culture.
Do you remember the butterflies in your stomach when you and your partner had your first kiss, or held hands, or when you received that first I heart you emoji text message?
Happy emotions can be the centerpiece of relationships. But what happens when anger, frustration, or disappointment show up?
Do you have the support, skills, and strategies to exercise effective emotional intelligence? Contact us at chosenlifespecialist.com.
Chosen Life Specialists, where we have been called to challenge and change
relationship culture.